beer, it's good for you.
Hello and welcome to the video. In this short video we'll be looking at the truth behind one very simple question that has been known to cause argument among homebrewers and brewers in general, and oddly it is all about pronunciations. So, is it Wort or is it Wort? This being our malt converted solution from mashing that we then boil, hop, cool and then ferment into what we then call beer. You will certainly hear people say it both ways, but what is right? Or are they actually both acceptable? Some people actually get pretty offended about this too, which I have to say that I find rather surprising, and I have to admit sometimes quite amusing. Naturally I'm not looking to offend anyone here, but let's now look into this so that once and for all we all understand the truth and have this understood. Let's begin with a quick look at a linguistics book that spells out how Old English transformed into the language we all know today in its various different forms across different English-speaking nations. You can see from this book that back in time this word had a different spelling altogether that we would all possibly pronounce now as Wort, as it was simply spelt that way, but then of course the spelling changed to its current status, and when this takes place it indicates that the pronunciation has changed also in keeping with the language change. This of course does not mean that we will all adopt it though, certainly not straight away, so as such both ways to pronounce a word can be acceptable, and this is true across many languages, not just English of course. John Palmer acknowledges both pronunciations in his How to Brew glossary, and I've actually heard him use both in conversation or within seminars he has conducted that I have been part of the audience for. You can also see that he feels the exact same way about the difference between saying it trub or trube as well. I asked him some years back why he varies the pronunciations with a big grin on my face, and he gave me a knowing laugh and expressed humour that some people take such things so very seriously. John Palmer is not the only well-known beer personality to call it Wort either. There are certainly other examples, including Sam Calagione, the founder of Dogfish Head Brewery in the US, who is staunch in his pronunciation of Wort rather than Wort. Let's now look at what some of the bigger dictionary sites online have to offer us in how you pronounce this word. First up we have the Oxford English Dictionary. Here you can see the acknowledgement that this word was present during the Old English period, which is pre-1150. On screen you can play back the words spoken forms from British English and US English. So let's do that now, the first being British English, and then we have two options from American English.
Wort.
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 So as you have just heard, according to the Oxford English Dictionary, Wort is British English, and yet in the US it can be pronounced as Wort or Wort. Another big dictionary online is Dictionary.com of course. As you can see, this one offers us a single playback button, but two phonetic examples, so let's play this one back too.
Wort or Wort? Wort or Wort?
As you just heard, both Wort and Wort are acceptable according to Dictionary.com too. Then finally, for our third and final test, we have Merriam-Webster, which is another very large dictionary website online with their own history going back to 1828. Once again we have two ways to say it, so let's now play those back.
Wort. 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 Wort.
So there you have it. Feel free to visit these websites and have this verified for yourself. It should now be plain to everyone that there are two acceptable ways to say Wort or Wort as an English speaker. Personally it feels more natural to me to say Wort, as this is mostly how I've heard it said by those around me for most of my life, but I've become used to hearing people use both pronunciations. In the same way that I say tomato and you might say tomato, but we both know and understand the meaning of the word when said either way. Frankly, it does not bother me one bit how anyone else says it. After all, context is everything in a sentence, and as long as we understand what a person is saying, then that is all that language is really there for as I see it. So in the end here, the only mistake in my opinion is when people refuse to accept that there are often various ways to say the same word. From time to time I have comments on my YouTube videos about this, from people who claim that my pronunciation is incorrect, and I've been sending them back a short sentence explaining the actual truth around the word. From now on I will be sending them to this video, so if you're one of those people watching this now, then thank you for making it to the end, and I hope that this has exposed the truth to you in a way that you find acceptable. Now I hope we can get back to something far more interesting, which is brewing. I do hope that you found this video useful, informative and interesting. If so, why not consider liking and subscribing? For further support you can join the channel's Facebook group, and if you would like to support the channel then check out the channel's merchandise store, as all profits go back into the channel. Until next time, happy brewing!